Before I start this lesson, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem or Kahakodash. Double honor to the Apostle Elders of Great Millstone. Apostle Elders of Bishops of Great Millstone, rule well and teach well. Shalom to 144,000 men that's pushed to get believe in his word and all true sincerity and sacrifice their lives and wills to do so. Shalom to the men, women, and children that tuning in and listening. And shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad on all four corners of the earth. The Heavenly Father named is Yahweh. His only begotten Son named is Yahweh Shai. And Lord, with this video, edify, quick, straight to the point. This video right here will be entitled, The White Man is Written to be Troublesome. I might change it up a little bit, but it's still among the same lines. Long story short, I'm doing this because recently it was a Jake named Daquan Hunt or Henry. I'm pretty sure it was Daquan Hunt, right? He basically, obviously, if you don't know by now, he has spirits on him to assault those women or whatnot. But Esau Edom like to get on the comment board and comments of videos like that and say, "Oh, look at them. They always whenever you see a black person or a black man, they always violence follow right behind them." When in fact, that's quite literally the opposite. Now, obviously, there are some among us that are not. Now, don't get it twisted. There is Jake that are unhinged and don't care about what they do. Right now, I will say it is like that. There are some Jakes that are like that, but however, they always like to place the blame on Israelites, right? We're all the accusers of thy brethren, right? We always are being blamed for things that obviously can be setups or things that that Esau Edom is always playing victim of, or either playing victim or blame game. And if you don't know by now how the devil rolls, you always see the type of mindset, the behaviors, the actions that he uses in order to manipulate people. On this side, in this time and day and age, Esau Edom was not just given the sword, but the power of deception, according to the scriptures, when it goes into Revelation 20. These are the things that Esau Edom uses in order to gain strength and also just gain power. But we're coming in at times where we see that Esau Edom power is fading away. He can no longer lie and hide behind or use Jake as using Jake as a scapegoat. That the term scapegoat is quite literally used as framing somebody for something, and Esau Edom does that without shadow of a doubt. So I'm gonna start off here in Micah chapter 2. Because these are, if it wasn't for this truth, if it wasn't for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai giving us this truth, we'd ultimately be in a situation where we're still subject to Esau, which we are in a sense. But now that the tides are turning, the Lord is giving the apostles and elders and bishops on down and elders, the foresight to see and predict the spirit of what's going on, right? And we could obviously stay clear of these things, right? This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. And, the elder brother Malak, he was going into this yesterday at camp. And it sticks with you. Even in your daily walk, you see these things. Esau Edom is quite literally seeking the downfall of the Israelite by any means, right? This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work upon their bed. So these individuals cannot sleep without thinking of ways to harm and dismantle an Israelite. And I don't just mean physically, I mean in a situation too, like in these court systems, right? It could be a smallest infraction, a ticket or a ticket or situation where, Jake get caught in a situation. Now, obviously, we just try to stay away from those things, but the Lord have you in a situation that's just is what it is. Right, we tend to always be in the hand of our enemies, which we are, always have been. Because why? Jake liked to go off. But nonetheless, these Edomites think of ways, meditate on ways to obviously keep Jake oppressed. And when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So yeah, they've been given the power, and it's time to commit these evil, wicked deeds, right? And the Lord's going to obviously do away with these Edomites after a period of time and put them in slavery. Put them in slavery first, then do away with them. But we find ourselves in a situation of where Esau Edom completely abuses his power, right? Like, for example, right? Obviously, the Constitution wasn't written for Jake, but the laws that he writes and says, giving, I don't want to say liberty, giving some leisure, or I don't want to say leisure, giving some leeway, or breathing room, he completely put the whole hammer down, as they say, and give no breathing room, right, for Jake. He never lets Jake let off. Now, obviously, the Spirit of the Lord, if Jake get let off easy, that just is what it is, and that's how the Lord got it. But in most times, they don't let Jake off easy. They quick to lock a Jake up. They quick to delete a Jake in a heartbeat. Because why? That hatred still is there. The smallest of things. Verse 2, they covet fields, right, and take them by violence. So yeah, the seed of Cain still here today, right? Esau Edom is Cain reincarnation and descendant. But nonetheless, that mindset, that evil, that ill will, as they say, that those devious intentions still here. By who? Esau Edom, these elites. And Cain covered fields, right? It says a vagabond, right? A murderer, right? Cain slew Abel, right? And then what? He went around the earth causing problems, causing ruckus, being odious, as the scriptures say. Being odious means it can mean an odor, but also mean a troublesome, noisy individual. An individual that likes to wreak havoc. And Esau Edom does that, right? America, right? Obviously, before these conquistadors came over here, and before the slave trades or whatnot, America, or so-called America, which means bitter, was inhabited by Northern Kingdom. But he came over here with the Negroes and all of that, but came over here and wiped away the inhabitants of this land. And it's funny because Esau like to say, "Oh, I just want you to go home." Motherfucker, you're not even originally from here, But that's just the hypocrites, the hypocrite that Esau Edom is. And houses, and let me read that again. And they covet fields and take them by violence, right? Take land by violence, by killing, by bloodshed, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And yeah, they do this. They do this to this day. They oppress Jake any way, shape, form, and fashion they can. It's no coincidence of why you see a lot of Jakes locked up more than Edomites. Because it's set up for Jake's downfall, right? Even the slightest thing, a ticket, right? A ticket like, okay, speeding ticket. They ready to arrest you. They ready to blow your brains out, as they say. Because what? Esau Edom hates that envy, that hatred, that Genesis 24 or 20. It's in the 20s, but Esau was had purpose to kill thee, purposing to kill thee. So he didn't have no conscience when it come to killing Jacob, because why? He hated Jacob. He envied Jacob. And that's the same thing Esau Edom, right? These Edomites today have. That same mindset, that same hatred, that same enmity. So I'm going to jump to Habakkuk 2 real quick. And this video won't be long, and Lord, when this video edifying. It's Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. Yeah, also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man. This is talking about Esau Edom. Neither keepeth at home. So what? Goes around causing, neither keepeth at home. He enlargeth his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied. but gather unto himself unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So yeah, Esau Edom he has a God complex, right? He can't mind his own business. Esau Edom knows and everything, and he want to control everything. Esau Edom, they try to make it seem like Jake are control freaks, but in all actuality, it's Esau. Esau Edom is a real control freak. When you really look at it, he feels as if everything that goes on planet Earth, he needs to have a say-so in it, right? Like, for example, some brothers have a vineyard, or not vineyard, I said vineyard, have plants. You got to have a permit for that. Oh, well, if you grow this, we got to take it away. Things like that. You can't even start your own business here. You got to have a permit for that. Esau Edom makes things hard because why? He's the damn devil. This isn't no coincidence. This ain't no, oh, well, maybe. No, this is not no game. This is not a joke. This is not something to play with. Esau Edom is the adversary who the Bible speaks of, for the adversary of the Israelites. And then I'm going to go to Ezekiel 35 too, because this also highlights Esau Edom hatred. This is Ezekiel chapter 35, and I will start at verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and perpetual means an everlasting hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So yeah, anytime you find Jake in a low down situation, you come up and stab them in their back, or stab them on their side, figuratively and quite literally. You quite literally take any opportunity to oppress Jake and go forward with it. This isn't something that just now happens. This has been going on. You can read this in history. You can read this in the scriptures. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Verse 7, and thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut it off from him that passeth out, and him that returneth. So, I mean, what? Since you have not stead your sword, in a sense, since you have not, long story short, and play in layman's terms, right, since you did not care or spare an Israelite to kill him, right, since you did not put down your sword, nor had any problem or any thought to, let me give them some mercy. Since you have not given the children of Israel mercy, that you haven't shown them any favor, and you show them hatred, guess what? The Lord just made a vow to you saying, what? I'm going to cut you off. By cut you off, I mean you're going to be a slave, and then you're going to be deleted after your slavery, done away with and wiped away with. Things of that nature. You're going to be completely done away with and obliterated. And the Lord is going to the Lord is going to uphold that promise. So Esau Edom, right, today is the so-called white man who the Bible speaks of, right? He's not even white, he just lacks pigmentation. And not all Edomites are, or not everybody that lacks pigmentation are Edomites. But we are dealing with the individual that quite literally wants to destroy you by any means necessary. So there's no confusion of who the devil the Bible speaks of. So with that, I'm going to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem and Hawashai, by Hashem Rakah HaKodash. I love this video edifying, and on to the next one. Shalom.